Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com, and welcome to St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day used to be a religious holiday in Ireland in which the pubs were all closed, but that changed in 1970. And now it's just a day of drinking. So, don't drink too much today. And I would never drink green beer. I'm a Guinness lover, and I don't want anybody messing with my Guinness. Looking at the week ahead, it's a Fed week, and so things are fairly quiet in the pre-market this morning. Now, the futures have been negative since they opened at 6 o'clock last night, but not by much. Dow futures currently down about 100 points. Last night, they were down about 200 points. So there isn't any immediate fall through to the upside from Friday's big reversal day. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, for the week ahead, we do have retail sales coming out at 8:30 this morning. And again, these are the big economic numbers for the week. There are lots of economic numbers coming out besides these, but these are just the big ones. We've got the FOMC meeting, the Fed meeting, which, of course, the announcement comes out at 2 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. That's going to be the highlight for the week. Then on Thursday, we get initial jobless claims and home sales. So those are the big numbers for the week. Now, the VIX came down on Friday, and seasonally it peaks in the middle of March. And of course, if it's peaking and starting to come back, that is usually supportive for higher stock prices. The VIX actually rolled over on Friday and is back on a sell signal as of Friday's close, which is supportive for higher stock prices. Now, the VIX ETFs are not there yet. They are both still on buy signal, so that has not changed yet, but it may change on Monday if we get any fall through to the upside in the stock market. Now, what isn't working right now? Well, anything consumer related had a bad week last week. Retail stocks had an inside day on Friday. They came back. We had transports up on Friday after making a new low on Thursday. Thursday, of course, was the full moon. There is the consumer discretionary sector having an inside day on Friday. And there's home builders having an inside day on Friday as well. Now, in the Canadian market, the big loser on the week was Infotech, and it, of course, had an inside day on Friday, like the rest of them. Now, when we look at the major index ETFs, they did very well on Friday. They closed above the previous day's high for the most part. That certainly didn't erase the big move down that we had last week, but it is the start. And we'll have to see if we get continuation to the upside. There's certainly no reason to jump into the market at this particular time. So there's the Dow Diamonds closing above Thursday's high. A nice big move up for the S&P 500, for the equal weighted, for the NASDAQ 100, the equal weighted, the next generation NASDAQ, the Russell 2000 was up on Friday. We saw small caps up, and we saw micro caps up and closing within the channel. We also had semiconductors up on Friday, and certainly a possibility of a buy signal on Monday. And one of the reasons they were up on Friday, NVIDIA back on a buy signal as of Friday's close. Looking at the Canadian market, there's the iShares for the TSX 60 and the Vanguard Canada ETF, both closing within the channel. And so they could certainly generate buy signals on Monday. Now, Tesla's still getting beaten up around the world. That has not changed. And when we look at the performance of the Magnificent Nine stocks that we follow in 2025, we've got Tesla down over 38% year to date, while Meta is the only stock that's still positive for 2025. Meta had an inside day on Friday. Microsoft traded up into the channel, looking for a close on Monday above $393.09. Now, there is a huge difference between these two stocks that you can't see on these particular charts. The daily right side chart, you need to go over to the flypaper channel and you'll see the math in action. You can see how wide the flypaper channel is. That indicates this is a slow moving symbol. This is Microsoft. And mathematically, the average true range is currently 2.76%. So that's the difference between the high and the low each day. You can see it in a dollar amount at $10.73. That number isn't as important. Of course, when you're comparing one stock to another, you need the average true range as a percent. Now, when we flip over to Meta, the first thing you see is how thin the flypaper channel is. So its long-term volatility is much higher. And right now, the average true range is 4.71% per day. So this stock is a lot more volatile. It's easier to make capital gains and capital losses in Meta than it is Microsoft. Microsoft is the slowest moving stock of the Magnificent Nine stocks that we follow. Now, Nvidia came back with a buy signal on Friday. So, that is certainly the most actively traded, the biggest stock in the world at the moment. And unfortunately, it's been making a series of lower highs and lower lows in 2025. So our expectations to the upside are rather limited for NVIDIA, even though it is back on a buy signal and even though it could lead the market higher. Now, looking at Amazon, no change in trend there. We're still closing at the lower channel line. There's Shopify. Shopify not even at the lower channel line right now. Then we've got Alphabet trading up to the lower channel line. I'm looking for things that have closed within the channel. They could certainly have a mathematical possibility of a buy signal on Monday. But we're not seeing too many at the moment. There's the Magnificent 7 ETF closing at the lower channel line. There's Apple, which if you take out last week's big move down, Apple was holding up very well in 2025. And then on Monday, we saw a big sell-off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday was an inside day, so no change there for Apple. Then we had Broadcom trading up into the channel for the past 3 days. So a close on Monday above $198.56 would give us a new buy signal for Broadcom. Broadcom, like NVIDIA, there's a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we would expect another lower high to form over the next few days. Then Tesla trading up to the lower channel line on Friday, stuck at 250. We got as high as 251.58 on Friday, but we closed at 249.98. So 250 acting as resistance. It's trading down a couple of dollars in the pre-market, but not enough that anyone would notice. We need to close above $268.90 on Monday to give us a buy signal. And then comparing one stock to another, you can see how thin the flypaper channel is. And if you go over here, the average true range is 8.5% per day. That is huge. That's a small cap gold stock. That's what that is. So yeah, if you want to make money and lose money, Tesla would be the best pick out of this group. It has the most volatility and really has the most action out of any other stock in the Magnificent Nine list. Let's finish off looking at commodities. We've got crude oil having an inside day on Friday, looking for a close above $68 on Monday to give us a buy signal. Natural gas generated a sell signal on Wednesday, no fall through to the downside on Thursday or Friday. Then we have copper hitting a new high on Friday before pulling back slightly. We had gold making a new high on Friday and silver making a new high on Friday. So the commodities, the metals all looking pretty good. Not a lot going on for the energy sector at the moment. Okay, folks, that's all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks fairly quiet out there. I often say that the market gets quiet before the Fed meeting comes out, and oftentimes I am wrong with that. Certainly, if the president comes out and says anything about trade, the market could move sharply higher or sharply lower at this particular time. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Tuesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.